All right, it's time now for the game preview presented by Ticketmaster, here with head coach Kevin Stefanski. Kevin, coming off a tough loss in Pittsburgh, but down the stretch your guys showed a lot of fight to stay in that game. What does it say about this group that they were able to do that down that stretch?
Yeah, our guys want to compete, and obviously you come away from that game without a win, you don't feel good about it. But they're just going to keep competing and look at all these games as opportunities.
Are you turning the page? Kansas City Chiefs coming to Cleveland. First, we'll ask the coach. Going head-to-head with a coach like Andy Reid, what kind of challenge does that present in itself?
Well, he's someone that I have a ton of respect for personally, professionally. I've been able to watch him as a young kid when he was in Philly coaching, and I've gotten to know him over the years, which is pretty special. I think he does a great job with his team, does a great job with his offense. So we have to have a really, really good plan when you're going up against Andy Reid.
All right, that offense, Patrick Mahomes, we know what he's able to do, but what has he shown you this season in particular?
Well, he's very talented. I mean, there's no throw he can't make. He can play on schedule. He can play off schedule. They have weapons across the board. They are playing a little bit differently than they have in the past. They've had injuries to their wide receivers. Hasn't really slowed them down. They're very, very efficient at running the football. And obviously that rapport between him and Travis Kelce is really special. And you see it show up especially on third down.
Now, he's been so good, I think, this season at those late game, crunch time moments. How do you prepare the game plan knowing that he can make those throws, and how much of an emphasis is it to stop him in those crucial moments?
Everybody tries to stop him. I mean, he's that talented. Obviously, it goes back to doing your job throughout all 60 minutes of those games. And when you do get into those moments, you have to go perform, and you have to really do your job. We've talked about it this week, that you have to expect to be in those moments. And really, to beat a team like this, you have to have 11 guys doing their job on the field. You
mentioned Travis Kelce. He's a guy that people here in Northeast Ohio know well. Has he lost anything, or is he still just as much of a threat as ever?
Doesn't look like he's lost anything to me. He's still physical. He has great size and great movement skills for that size. He's awesome versus zone. He can find all those little areas versus zones. He wins versus man. So I have not seen anything fall off.
One of their new weapons, Xavier Worthy. How has he opened up that offense, and what are you preparing for him?
Speed and real speed. I think 4.21 at the combine. He can roll. You have to understand where he is at all times, because he is somebody that not only can take the top off the defense, but he's a threat down the field.
Now, in the run game, a familiar face here in Cleveland, Kareem Hunt. Is that more of a challenge, or does it make it maybe a little easier to game plan for a guy that you know very well from his time here?
He's a huge challenge just because of his skill set. And I think Kareem, when you watch him run so hard, and he's always falling forward, getting those extra yards, he's great in the screen game. He's great in short yardage goal line situations. So we understand the challenge when you're going up against Kareem, and you really have to gang tackle because he breaks tackles.
Now on defense, a guy that I think a lot of people look at, Chris Jones. What about his skill set poses the biggest threat to your offensive line and to Jameis?
He's so disruptive. At that size, to have the ability to swim a guard, rush outside, power rush, can make plays in the run game. He's just a very disruptive player in a very unique body for how big he is.
Do you have to prepare extra? Are they sending a lot of pressure, the Chiefs, this season?
That's always a hallmark of Coach Spags. They can definitely pressure you at any moment. It's something that he's done over the course of his career, going all the way back to when he was with Jim Johnson and the Eagles. So it can come from all areas. They can also show pressure and not bring it. So it's definitely something you have to be aware of.
They're giving up the third fewest rushing yards in the league right now. I know your offense is trying to establish that run game, and Nick Chubb has taken ownership of that, trying to get that going. How much of a challenge is it knowing they stop that so well, but you need to get that going to get your offense operating?
In a lot of ways, you always go into these games understanding what their strengths are, and then looking at yourself and seeing what you can maybe try to get going for yourself. So looking at them, of course, they have a good run defense. There's also things that we feel like we can continue to improve upon as we get into the back half of this season, as we've evolved some of our run schemes, feeling pretty good about making sure that we get more reps, more opportunities for our guys.
Obviously, some special teams things didn't go your way last week. Is there more of an emphasis this week to clean some of that up and make sure you're getting the performance out of those guys that you want?
I think the emphasis is really as a team. Obviously, we want to perform on special teams as well, but the emphasis goes to doing all those little things that you have to do to find a way to win.
All right, I know you guys are out of the playoffs, but guys like Myles Garrett have said, there's still so much to play for. Pride, the name on the back, the name on the front, the city of Cleveland. What are your sentiments on how they are finding that motivation internally as well as within the team?
Without a doubt. You never run out of things to play for. I understand what our record is. I understand that playoffs are not in our future, but you have so much to play for, and our guys understand this is such a great opportunity. We get to go up against the two-time world champs at our place.
All right, thanks so much, Coach, and good luck on Sunday.
Thanks, Cam.